Okay. Panthers, Tampa Bay. It was pretty much the outcome that we expected it to be.
Yeah, I called 31-17, I think.
Is that what you called? Yeah, I think you did.
I don't remember, honestly.
I don't remember. I had it being a little bit closer. I think I said 35-28. And it was close going into the fourth quarter, part of the fourth quarter, and then a couple of mistakes by the Panthers. Look, they were competitive. The turnovers is what really killed them, you know.
Yeah, but to be fair, the turnovers that Tampa Bay gave them was kind of the reason that they were in the game. Tampa's a better team than the Raiders. We said that before, but they're not a great team. Tom Brady handed them an interception. I mean, it was a great catch by Dante Jackson, but I mean, the pass was nowhere near Gronkowski. They had Ronald Jones had a fumble. Well, him and Tom. I don't know exactly who to put that one on, but they fumbled a handoff. So I mean, that kind of kept Carolina in it a little bit. Again, 0 sacks. They had a few QB hits this week, but I didn't expect a great pass rush with Kawan Short and Gross Matos both out.
Right.
And they were missing Dennis Daly again. Like I said, playing a better defense. Teddy had a terrible day. He made some bad decisions, and it all added up to a loss.
Okay. All right. Were there any positives?
Mm-hmm.
Any positives that you took away from the game?
No. No, not really. Like I don't want to say that nobody played well or anything. Like you said, they competed and all that, but I mean, Christian McCaffrey injured his ankle and he's out 4 to 6 weeks. So I don't think there's a whole lot of positive to take out of that. Yeah. Derek Brown had a couple of bad penalties. I mean, hopefully he learns from that.
Yeah, I think that penalty he had, that late hit penalty in the fourth quarter, really hurt. Right.
Yeah.
You guys had an opportunity to catch up right there, and then you extended that drive. That was fourth down.
Yeah.
That was fourth down. Yeah. You can chalk it up to a rookie mistake, and that's fine.
They ran a fake punt from Tampa Bay's, I think it was 35, 36-yard line. They went nowhere. I mean, it was a bad day all around. I think they're in for a lot of those kind of days. I mean, and probably worse than that once they start playing some better teams.
Look, it was a bad game. A sloppy play on the offense and defense, bonehead penalties, but they were still in the game. So that's the one positive I'll take, is that this doesn't look like a team that's going to lay over, right, or lay down for somebody. They're going to fight. They're going to compete, and that's a good thing. So you can take from that, and now it's about identifying, okay, who can we keep moving forward? Who are we going to have to replace, or where do we have to get better? And just getting everybody on the same page and playing disciplined football.
Well, certainly they were competitive the first 2 weeks, but I don't want to give too much credit for not laying down. It's the first 2 weeks.
Right? Sure.
We'll see. Week by week. We'll see in the second half of the season whether or not they're laying down then. Not that I expect them to. I'm just saying, it's 2 weeks in. Everybody's competing right now.
Yeah.
The problem that I really have with this week, and then it was a combination of factors. The biggest one being we watched Cam Newton throw for 397 yards and a touchdown. And an interception.
Here we go. Bring it up, Cam.
Run for a couple more
Cam
touchdowns in a Sunday night thriller. I mean, yeah, they came up short in the end, but much better quarterback than Teddy, and there was no reason to move him out. So you have that, and then you combine it with the fact they let James Bradbury walk. They let Mario Addison walk. They let Bruce Irvin walk. They let Gerald McCoy walk. They let Dontari Poe walk. They cut Eric Reed. And, they decided, hey, we're going to use every draft pick on defense. So, you kind of think, hey, maybe they're tanking. But then they go and they sign Teddy Bridgewater. They sign Robbie Anderson. So you're like, maybe they're not trying to tank. And now they bring in Tremaine Johnson. They bring in Rasul Douglas in the secondary. And it seems like they're trying to compete, and maybe they just, they just didn't want Cam around. We had talked about that before. They wanted to move on from Cam, and there wasn't any reason to. So when you make that decision with your 31-year-old franchise quarterback, former MVP, who he's been injured the last couple of years, but he's healthy now, and you decide to just move on from him, Yeah, man, I'm gonna be comparing them every week.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be looking at how Cam plays every week. And when you're coming up short in your games every week, and not looking good, I mean, that's gonna be an issue,
Yeah,
There
I
was
think
no
that's fair.
reason to move on.
Yeah, I think that's fair. You and I are Teddy Bridgewater fans. We think he's a solid quarterback. Good
Mhm.
quarterback. He's a good quarterback. Um, I know we've heard that the organization likes him, and from what we're hearing, that's their guy. But to be
Mhm.
honest, I don't believe that's the case. All right,
Right.
I do believe they brought him in to kind of be like that bridge between Cam and the next quarterback that they really want to get.
Right.
And it's not that I don't have faith in him. I think they just don't have faith in him. I don't care what they say. We heard this in LA with the Chargers, right? Yeah, they have faith in uh, uh
Tyrod.
Tyrod Taylor, right? And week 2, he's not playing,
But
right?
look, they're still saying that. They said once he's 100% healthy, he's the guy. Because, I
Yeah,
mean, I guess
yeah,
he started having chest pains right before the game. They said they told Justin Herbert that he said 10, 15 seconds before kickoff is when they told him he was starting. So, Tyrod had to go to the hospital. They're still saying that when he's 100% healthy, he's the guy.
yeah.
I don't buy that at all.
No,
I
me
mean,
neither.
Herbert, I mean, credit where it's due. He looked really good
Yeah,
for the most part. I mean, he had a few mistakes, but he looked really good. They're not going back to Tyrod.
no,
You
and
know,
I don't believe Bridgewater's going to be in their plans for the future. They're going to bring in a quarterback. They'll say, yeah, Teddy's still our guy. This guy is
Mhm.
not ready yet, blah, blah, blah. And, 2 or 3 weeks in, they'll transition to whoever they draft or bring in or whatever.
Yeah. The good news is it looks like maybe they won't have the problem of playing themselves out of good draft position because you've played two teams who aren't great so far and you lost both those games. I don't think they're going to be able to compete with good teams. Not realistically.
Right.
So maybe you take that 6-7 wins down to 3 or 4.
Yeah, we'll see.
Especially like I said, you're talking about the next 4 to 6 games without Christian McCaffrey. I mean, we'll see how it goes. Maybe you throw Curtis Samuel in the backfield. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be struggling quite a bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
So, I mean, we'll find out. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but
It's,
just like the first week, this is just about seeing guys like Chin and Troy Pride, and Derek Brown and Brian Burns, those guys develop and turn and get better week to week.
yeah.
That's really all this season is going to be about.
Yeah. So, either way, even if they were 2-0 right now, I wouldn't overreact. I'm not going to
Mhm.
overreact to 0-2. You just got to take it week to week. We got to just look at what we're seeing so far. Right now, it's not good. It's not good. But the one positive that I do take away is that they are competing, and there is something to be said for that, even in week 2, because we see some teams out there not doing that. Jets.
Well, that's the thing. I think the Jets are competing. They're just much worse.
Yeah.
The only people who aren't competing is those guys who said, no, I'm not going to pick up that onside kick down in Atlanta. I don't know what the hell's going through your mind. Like they thought they looked like that. They thought that ball was going to explode.
Yeah.
Like they were just backing up.
You know what? I think they were confused. I think they were
They
confused.
better have been.
I think they were confused when I saw them. I was just like, well, wait, they don't have to wait for the ball to cross, to go
Right.
10 yards. I think they forgot that, and they're waiting for it to go 10 yards before they jump on it, thinking they're going to get a penalty.
Yeah.
So
It was
unfortunate.
it was awful.
It's unfortunate.
Just awful.
Yeah.
There was only one Cowboy there, and you let him get the ball.
Yeah. Yeah. And they made history. But yeah, so the Panthers, who do they play week 3?
They are actually playing the Chargers week 3.
Wow. Okay.
So
yeah.
I mean, I would again. I'm expecting another loss there, but it's not the point. You just want to see how they show up, see if they're cleaning up some of those penalties. If they're communicating any better than they have the first couple of weeks.
Yeah.
You want to see. I mean, Teddy he just had a real bad day. I wouldn't expect Teddy to play like that every week.
No,
He
no,
just he had a bad time of it
yeah,
this week, but he'll be fine.
yeah. Well, all right. So not a good showing week 2, but
No,
we'll see. We'll
no,
we'll
no,
see
it
how
was not.
yeah, we'll see how they do week 3, and hopefully the main thing for me is cleaning up the penalties, cleaning up the dumb mistakes, playing more disciplined football. When you
Yeah.
have young players, you got to expect that to a certain extent, especially when you don't have that many veterans um, on that side of the ball. So,
Mhm.
can they
I
improve
will
on every week?
I will say one thing I am excited to see next week is I'm always up for watching Reggie Bonifant. I like him. I think he's a fun player to watch. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm expecting them to
Yeah,
call him up from the practice squad,
yeah, I think so too.
with McCaffrey hurt.
Yeah,
So that'll be fun.
yeah.
Always like to see Reggie.
All right, week 3, we'll see.